Hey, this is Match once again. What about 10 of the videos? Another paid request, this time from a werewolf. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the 2006 film Idiocracy, starring Luke Wilson, who I've always enjoyed as an actor. You also have Shepard. You have Terry Crews as the president. Justin Long's in a small role, and it's directed by Mike Judge, the creator of Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill. He directed Office Space, another fun movie. I would say I like Office Space more than this. I do think Office Space is a funnier movie, but this is a good one as well. And anytime now someone talks about Idiocracy, they'll talk about how Sally's become more of a documentary since its inception back in the day. The dumbing down of society. And you watch the film, the story's about. The very first scene I thought was very well done, where it's showcasing a smart couple wanting a baby and a dumb couple wanting a baby. And the smart couple, they'll wait, they have questions, they'll wait if it's safe for their child and their career, are they ready for it? But the other people will just have sex and cheat on people and have more sex and sex on the sex in the city, sex. And then while the one couple keeps waiting and pontificating and thinking and never have a kid, the others have had like 18 kids. And because of that, that's how the dumb stupidity has spread. I thought that was very funny for my judge to showcase that. And it was a nice way of doing it. But the plot is Luke Wilson is his librarian, army librarian. He's pushed into doing this task of this experiment with these hibernation pods. Him and this woman, who is pretty much a hooker, they're taken to this hibernation pod, and the experiment is do this for a year. This will help with, I forget what the exact reason, like how, I just hibernate, hey, if you have an illness, if you have something else going on, injury, we could use these hibernation pods until something works out for the better. We won't lose men. We'll be able to save more people in the military. Something to that nature. But during that year, the guy who's head of the experiment, he gets arrested. The two pods get forgotten. And pretty much the years go by until it's the year 2505, where it's a world that has been incredibly dumb. And that's part of the fun, is showcasing just all the different ways this society has become dumb. Where sadly some of the stuff you could see coming. And that is, like I said, I don't think it's as hilarious as Office Space. It didn't tickle the funny bone as much as Office Space, but it was a good concept. And again, Luke Wilson was a nice fit for the average guy. He has that persona, he has that vibe to him. They just buy him as the regular man. And how a regular man in this world could be the smartest man in the world. Now, I do wish the film had a bigger budget. I had about $2 million. Sometimes you could see it by some of the wider shots. They did the best they could. And there's a part of me that, like I said, do wish they had a bigger budget so they could have... Because I wanted to see even more of this world and how dumb it is. But at the same time, they accomplished a decent amount for $2 million, and the film bombed. And bombed badly. So if they lost money with $2 million, imagine if it was like $10 million or $15 million. But again, there's that part of me that I just see a lot more of a stinging commentary with a bigger budget to showcase even more of how this world is. The different cities, different parts of the world, different cultures, all that jazz, and how they are showcased in this world. Because in this world, there's a big old garbage heap because no one knew how to take care of garbage. There's a point where Luke Wilson looks out and the buildings, like 2 buildings, they didn't know how to fix the buildings, so they're held up by ropes. There's ads everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's advertisement. Even later on in like the president's cabinet, there's people that keep saying Carl's Jr. And Luke Wilson goes, "Why do you keep saying that? Because I get paid every time I say it. I thought you were supposed to be smart." You can see that happening now with how many YouTube videos have, the sponsorships. How many podcasts? Even people that are like celebrities that have podcasts. And they're still doing, our sponsorship is this. And they're reading advertisements. I'm like, holy shit. I mean, you flip on any website, there's ads everywhere. And the dumbing down of entertainment, I mean, we say that nowadays, the dumbing down of entertainment. In this world, there's Ow My Balls, the big hit TV show. And the most popular film is a film called Ass, that's just a bare ass that sometimes farts. And trust me, there's a lot of movies nowadays I feel like there's no fucking story, and it's just a pale white ass staring at you, sticking up the joint. I think we all can agree there's a lot of movies this year alone that feels that was the case. Where storytelling has gone downhill, or entertainment has gone downhill, among other shit. And also like how inappropriate things are, but people don't get it. Like that's something I wish. I mean, it's 2006. That was a different world than it is today. Because that's, Jesus, 17 years ago? Damn, that was 17 years ago. That's crazy. 17 years. But, okay, for example, there's a restaurant called Buttfuckers. Because it was like Fuddruckers, and because of stupidity of people, they got the name wrong throughout the decades and decades, so they think it was called Buttfuckers, but there's kids eating at this restaurant. I mean, they said, wow, that's inappropriate. Just look at the people that go on TikTok. 11, 12-year-olds. This is why I don't go on TikTok among many reasons. Just like, what's on TikTok? And I'm like, why is this 12-year-old girl dressed up like this, ready to show her ass and non-tits? And she's 12 years old. Where's the fucking parents? There's a lot of parents that you just feel are really fucking stupid and don't know shit how to take care of their kid. I think that's something you could have, I would love to have seen even more in this. A lot more of that. Well, obviously, if this film was made today with the same concept, it'd be a lot. Some of the stuff would be the same, but I think there's a lot more steam you could put into the commentary of it all. But like, Luke Wilson, when he wakes up, he goes to the hospital and the person doesn't know what to do, so they're just pressing buttons. All the water is now Gatorade. It's not. They don't call it Gatorade. It's a sports drink. I forget what the sports drink was called, but I just call it Gatorade. Even Luke Wilson thought it was Gatorade at first. The water fountains are pretty much Gatorade. Justin Long comes in as a doctor. He's like, hey, it says you're fucked up. And it also says you sound retarded. Just how, totally un-PC and just basic, don't give a fuck that people talk. So like me. So I'd fit right in this world. I would fit right in this world. Sorry, that's one of the cats. He was denied entry in Buttfuckers, I guess. But it's not meant for cats. Sorry, cat. But, That's a cat on a tangent. That's a cat that I've shown that was kind of left out and had no tail, so got him in and taking care of him. Still doesn't like me, but until it cries out, then I go, and then still doesn't like me, so whatever. Sometimes cats are just that way. So, yeah, I would fit in this world, is what I was saying. And, there are fun moments where Luke Wilson is like, one thing leads to another, he's put into jail, and then he's easily able to trick his way out of jail. And he's like, well, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be in that line. You idiot, go in the right line. Or he had taken a test, and it's like the most simple test, and the results was that he was the smartest person in the world. So Terry Crews, who's the president, Camacho, he comes in and says, hey, this guy's going to be working on my cabinet. You do a kick-ass job, you get a pardon. And Terry Crews is fun. He's definitely given it his zest, his energy to the film. I forget the actress's name, but I didn't mind the girl who was the hooker, and eventually her hibernation pod opens up, and ultimately her and Luke Wilson find each other. I think there could have been maybe a bit more of them chat. There's a little bit more of them chatting with each other, because by the end they hook up. So maybe like a little bit more to showcase some of their chemistry with each other would have been nice to see. One flaw, I do not like that Shepard in this movie. I know why he's in it. Is like you have someone who's among the civilization, who's as dumb as them, but who's an ally. But I don't mind that Shepard as an actor. Like, I don't mind him in Without a Paddle, which had Matthew Lillard and Seth Green. I think he was on some early bits of Punt with Ashton Kutcher. So I don't mind him. It's just, like I said, as an actor, but here, either it was the way he was directed or he was the wrong choice. He just came off as really fucking irritating and not funny. I like money. I like another person's performance. I just, like I said, I don't know if he was the right guy for the role. I don't know who you would have cast in that role to play dumb well. I'd have to look at like who was around in 2006. But I don't know, just his delivery of the dialogue and his mannerisms. It just came off as really irritating and just not a character I enjoyed watching when he was on screen. Yeah, he's showcasing being an idiot. Okay, I get that, but I do think someone else could have been cast instead of that Shepard. I mean, Matthew Lillard. I mentioned him. Like, he would. I think he could have worked a bit better. I'm trying to think of people that was around that. Yeah, I'd have to look at the 2006 list of it. I don't know why. Like I just saw Evolution, the Blu-ray there. I'm like, Orlando Jones. Like he could have made that work. And I know people don't like Owen Wilson, but I think Owen Wilson could have made that role work. Because he has that type of demeanor of that calm kind of thing with his voice that, I don't know. I guess maybe it's just the way he was directed as well. I don't know, just, like I said, just wasn't big on Dat Shepard's performance. I think also the film kind of falters when I'm really wanting to learn and see more of this world. And that was the most entertaining part was seeing the parts of the world, like Costco, and how Costco has changed. And you have this guy going, "Welcome to Costco, I love you. Welcome to Costco, I love you. Welcome to Costco, I love you." Just so like dead in the face saying it. But I said when it got into okay, Luke Wilson's got to save the world or save this and that, and we got to deal with these crops. Change from sports drink to water. All the stocks are down. Like Thomas Hayden Church. Okay, Thomas Hayden Church was in the film as his one bit where he's saying the stocks are down. He would have been so much better as a Dutch Shepard role. Thomas Hayden Church could have played that role, I think, a lot better than Dutch Shepard. And he's in the movie. So, I don't know. I just, when it got to the third act and it's like Luke Wilson is arrested again and he's in that, car rally and the cars are coming in and then you have the big one that crushes itself, which was kind of funny. But it's kind of Luke Wilson's in the car, and then you have the guy come out, and he's avoiding the guy and trying to climb up and falls down. And while Dad Shepard has the camera, he's trying to get to the crops, but he's looking at stuff because it wasn't the most entertaining, exciting finale. Well, I would say the first half of the film seemed a bit funnier and fresh than the second half, if that made sense. I think that's what it is with this film. The concept and the world building was much more interesting than the actual story. I think that maybe that's what it is for me. Like Office Space, I really enjoy the story. Here, I enjoy the concept and the first half, but the story of making crops and things it just wasn't as interesting to me compared to just seeing all the different ways this world is dumb and just how dumb can you be. Kind of like Beavis and Butthead. Just how dumb can these two guys be? Wait till the next episode when they show how they're even dumber. So I think that's where the movie kind of falters a little bit for me. Like I said, maybe having a bit of a higher budget to show a bit more of the world. Maybe having another actor instead of Dad Shepard, so that character was a little bit easier on the ears, easier to give a fuck about. Maybe that could have helped as well. But like I said, the way it predicted with the advertisement and the political shenanigans, and although to me politics have always been a farce because to me like it's nothing new, but it became much more of a social media buzz later on, of course. The dumbing down of entertainment, those aspects make the film fun to rewatch again. Luke Wilson, he works well as the average guy. Terry Crews, he's rather entertaining as the President Camacho. That stuff makes it a fun watch. And it's a very short film, too. It's a very short film. It doesn't overstay its welcome. And you got Mike Judge. When you got Mike Judge, you're in some pretty capable hands when you're doing Mike Judge. He's a very talented guy. He's a very talented guy. Talented individual. So, being a big fan of Beavis and Butthead and Office Space and stuff. So, like I said, I like the Beavis and Butthead movies and Office Space. I would say I like those movies more than this. But this is still a good one as well. Especially to rewatch with the state of the world today. And oh man. it's sad I see some of this in the world today. Like how people can't get a fucking order right. So I'm looking like the doctors. Let me do this. And the other day I saw a friend of mine, a video they did where he was like at a fast food, and like my friend, told them diet Coke like 4 times, and they still gave him regular Coke. And he gets home and still the fucking regular Coke. It's like after telling him 4 times, it's like, die. I mean, I get that it can be tough, but if someone tells you Diet Coke 4 times, it's Diet Coke. It's not a complicated phrase or word. So, sometimes people are just... So with that said, it is the world today. All we can do is see what happens day by day. Take care, we'll see you later.